Carved from the marble of the Paros island that is located in the Aegean Sea, during the Archaic period around 510 BC, a series of figurines called Acropolis core were crafted and left for archaeologists to find in the 1830s, when Acropolis was finally deemed an archaeological site. The Acropolis is also the highest hill in Athens and home to the Parthenon. This is where a lot of the core were found, though they were found all over Athens, Greece. Core, translated from Greek, means maiden. So these are representations of young females within Greece. These are not goddesses. They are seen as offerings to a specific goddess, that goddess being Athena, the goddess of war and wisdom. Here we can see the classical Greek style represented with its high relief detail and grandiose stature. These types of Greek sculptures were so lifelike, it's almost as if a human, or God, was right in front of you. This can't be said for the core of Chios, though. Each core sculpture is different in their own ways, though also having very similar attributes. One major similarity between each is the chiton, or the linen fabric that is draped across the sculpture. This also represents what order they were in, this being the Ionic. A chiton was worn by both men and women during the Greek period. Chitons varied in length, but on this core of Chios, it's long in length and in sleeves. Her garment is elegantly decorated, showcasing rosettes, meanders, and spirals. Her hair is long and curled, and atop her head lay a Greek headdress, covered in rosettes and spirals. Now, once upon a time ago, this marble sculpture was indeed painted using egg tempera, and here is a reconstructed version that archaeologists and restoration artists created today. They showcase an array of colors, from reds to blues to yellows to oranges, giving a fresh and bright new look to the marble sculpture. Now, earlier we examined the difference in traditional Greek classical style that we usually see versus this style of sculpture that the core are crafted in. This style is very reminiscent of Egyptian art and Egyptian sculpture. Here we have the Queen of the Niles. Though there is no fashion upon the sculpture, we can see a resemblance in the length and curl of the hair. We see a very straightforward stature. We see an almost expressionless face and a headdress adorning the top of her head. Another Egyptian sculpture that we can look at is the King Menaru and his queen. Again, these show the straightforward stature, almost expressionless face. In this case, though the hair is not curled, it is still long and gives us that same squarish shape that the core also have. Here's the queens side by side a core, both having very similar hair shapes, very similar expressions on the face, rounded eyes and eyebrows, with a pointed face shape. There seems to be a garment atop the right core, though we can still get a representation showing a female figure within both the Egyptian and Greek sculptures. It's no surprise that the Greeks took inspiration from Egyptian art, as their relationship became very close after Alexander the Great conquered Egypt and ruled. This rule resulted in a fusion culture that took place where they shared gods, constellations, and even language during the Hellenistic period. Though war is never good, innovation did come from this tragic event. We shall be ever so grateful that archaeologists spend their time finding figurines and pieces of artwork from periods like the Greek and ancient Egyptian times. Otherwise, we would not get a good idea of the spiritual practices and beliefs of those who came before us. The core represents such a huge part of maintaining a relationship between humans and gods or goddesses. So that many of these sculptures are small, like the core of Chios, standing at 0.545 millimeters, their impact is huge, and we shall keep their meaning alive for years to come.